I'm going to walk you through how to make a hand stamp bracelet. So first you want to choose the side of the bracelet blank that has sort of a rounded edge. The rounded edge should be the top of your bracelet. It doesn't matter too much, but that's how I do it. Then you're going to set the blank on a steel block, and you're going to take hammer and your stamps, and be sure to focus on which way your alphabet stamps and your shapes are going so that they do the impression the way that you'd like. With those bigger stamps, I stamped a couple times with the hammer. These smaller alphabet, you only need to stamp it, hit it once firmly. So the bigger the stamp, the more force you want to put, but the smaller ones, you don't want to put too much force. Otherwise, the stamp impression sort of looks blurry. You can kind of overstamp. So you want to find that happy medium. Another trick to knowing if you're stamping vertically or kind of correct in the correct direction, you want to hold, if the stamp has the number, for instance, 3, you want to hold that towards you when you're stamping, and then you know that it's the correct direction or upright. But you can also just check by looking underneath the stamp. On this example bracelet, I am stamping a couple of the alphabets I'm sending, and letters or numbers, and also the design stamps I'm sending. So there's flowers, hearts, cross, paw prints. I got a little spur stamp that's super cute. I got that new for this class because I thought it'd be fun for the roundup. But again, the smaller the stamp, the less force you want to put behind it. So that's kind of the important part to get from this part of my stamping. So you can see I'm stamping pretty small stamps. I only have to hit it once. That was a bigger one, so I hit it twice. That was the spur. Now this is a really big one, and it is a mountain, which I think is super fun stamp. It also has side mountain pieces that you can add to sort of make a mountain range. But all of those are pretty big, so you can use a tilt method where you hit it with the stamp and then tilt the stamp a little bit, or hit it with the hammer and then tilt the stamp a little bit so that it really gets all sides of that stamp clearly on there. All right, next up, we're using the first of 2 bracelet bending tools. So you just stick the end in that little notch and gently bend the metal around, and you're going to do that on both sides. And then you'll take this bending tool and just gently squeeze to get any flat parts around it. I think the kind of middle of the bracelet and the ends will need that the most, but that can kind of round out the whole bracelet, and then you can gently open or close it as you need to shape it to your wrist. Now we want to darken the stamp impression, so you're going to take this marker and color in. You want to make sure that you really get inside. You can see that lightning bolt I didn't get inside the impression, so I'm going to go back over it to really make sure the ink goes deep into where we've stamped, because if it doesn't get in the actual impression, when we wipe it off, it won't be in there. So we want to make sure that it gets into the crevices. You can leave that to dry for about a minute or 2, and then just use a napkin or paper towel to gently wipe off. And you'll notice that the ink stays in the stamped impressions, but is easy to wipe off the rest of the bracelet, leaving a nice clean pattern of what you stamped.